push-ups. I've been doing sit-ups. I've been doing chin-ups. I've been doing pull-ups. I threw up once, but I'm okay now.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to a Wednesday edition of the Ysn Power Hour, powered by Toyota of Warren. DJ on this side, Scotty on the other side, in his humble abode. And Scotty, I got to tell you, right off the jump, I can see my golden strings there. I can see the pop-up shot, or whatever we call pop-a shot, that I need to go and get my golden championship again that your dad holds by like 5, 6 points. It's within my reach, man. I got to get there.
Yeah, I have faith in you, man. You guys are you're two great competitors, because you weren't leaving until you beat his high score, and then he wasn't leaving till we topped you. So, and remember, DJ, I said this a few times, but you had that extra time and you didn't even realize it. So I think the sky's the limit, man.
You just tell your dad that his time is spoken for, I guess, and I'm coming for it. I'm coming for the championship. Balboa is going to take down Drago in the next 14 days. So get ready for it.
All right, man. I'll give you a picture of my dad, and you can crumple it up like Rocky does with Drago.
Your dad, if he dies, he dies. All right, so obviously I'm coming to you from the man cave in Casa de la Yokley. Snow day for a lot of different teams, a lot of different schools around the area because of the winter blast that started about 3 a.m. this morning and lasted until, some of it's still going on right now, as I understand, but it's turned to rain, according to the meteorologist. So that being said, Scotty, we're going to talk a lot about snow days today and kind of like what advantages that may occur and some of the stories that we have from snow days and stuff like that. We're also going to talk about the experience that Richie and I had last night at Archbishop Hoban and the first ever kind of under the banner of YSN stream that we got to experience, and so much coming from what I think the Knights and Knight Nation is going to bring to the table and what we're going to help them push across worldwide for Hoban. It was an experience I know Richie and I will never forget because for the first time in 20 years or so, I saw a sold out capacity crowd, standing room only situation in Ohio basketball. And it just doesn't happen like that anymore. And last night was special. We got to be a part of it. And for our first broadcast, we left very, very impressed. So some stuff coming up about the Hoban game and, of course, the games around the area. But first, as we always do, it's birthday time. Scotty, are you ready?
Let's do it, man.
Here we go. All right, so we got some big ones today. We have some big birthdays in celebrity and sports, and none bigger to me than one of the greatest singers, the songbird of our generation, Alicia Keys. She turns 41 today, Scotty. Alicia Keys, you a fan?
I am a fan, yeah. I like, I think it's Empire State of Mind, with her and Jay-Z.
Jay-Z, yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm
I
trying to. I'm looking for athletes, and I'm not seeing uh, Eusebio or Eusebio. I don't know if it's Eusebio. We have a Eusebio, Joe Eusebio. For us, he's passed on, but he was a soccer player. It's his birthday today. I don't see many other athletes with birthdays today. But you know whose birthday it is today, Scotty, and a guy that I'm very, very just interested in is I believe he was the Time Magazine Person of the Year this year in Vladimir Zelensky, the world leader from Ukraine. I know not to get into politics, but what this leader has been able to do for the nation has been incredible. And as someone who loves leadership stories and things of that nature, this guy has really. You want to talk about the Rocky Balboa story? This guy truly has been going up against Drago in Russia, toe to toe. I mean, has there been any kind of from an influence from you for what Ukraine and Vladimir Zelensky's been able to do?
uh, I mean, I think it is pretty remarkable, and I kind of like that kind of what I think it's something that it makes him as a person even more someone more to inspire to DJ like a level like that, because I just think people like you and me, not always given the, and everybody could say it to an extent, but I think sometimes we look at life and we're like, oh, why can't things be better? But you really do start to adapt when everything isn't always ideal. And I think having that chip on your shoulder and being the underdog and then still being able to overcome that makes things even better. So, like you said, it's like a Rocky versus Drago type thing. I mean, Drago was the ideal specimen. Like he was seen as indestructible, and it's something at least with everything that's happened in the Ukraine and for those people, he's kind of been like the hero that they needed.
He's the Rocky Balboa for sure. Last one today, Michelle McCool turns 42. Do you know who Michelle McCool is?
I do not.
She is the Undertaker's wife and wrestled also in the WWE. And I saw the Undertaker made a triumphant return of some sort on Monday Night Raw for Raw is 30. So, for those of you who don't think wrestling's a sport in that capacity, I will argue with you all day. So, happy birthday to Michelle McCool, who again turns 42 today. Those are your birthdays. If you have a birthday, YSM affiliated birthday, make sure you send it over to our messenger or whatever platform that you prefer, and we'll make sure we put it down on the calendar for your birthday, whether it's coming up or whether it is that particular day. So happy birthday to you. If it is your birthday, we didn't get to it. Happy birthday to you. All right, Scotty, snow days. I turned on channel 21 as soon as I got up this morning, and the old ticker was going across and just kind of rifling through all the different schools that closed even as soon as last night, and into the morning and into even the afternoon. Some events have been closing. So my question to you today to start off the program: what did you do and what was your thing of choice when you had a snow day?
Um, Snow days, man. I used to be. I think I told you this before, and kind of getting back into it a little bit with the new Papa Shop we were talking about earlier. But I used to be a avid video gamer, so snow days, man. That's typically what I would do. Unless sometimes we would go out and play in the snow, and it was always fun because my family and friends, they would kind of like take me out of my chair to let me play in the snow. So I have like good memories as a kid, like just freezing but having a blast. But a lot of times I stayed in and played video games.
What was the video game of choice for you when you stayed in? Richie talked yesterday about Call of Duty. Was it the same for you?
I was never as big a player of Call of Duty. You were talking about The Undertaker a couple moments ago. I had this 90s wrestling game for Sega Genesis back in the 90s. And I always loved, for whatever reason, maybe because I just felt like he was a guy I could relate to on the game, or he was just really kind of like unstoppable in my opinion. But Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid, I would always like, play as him in the game and have a lot of fun. And then always, uh, since I could remember, Madden, I love Madden. But even before that, the NFL 2Ks, I think it was the one with Randy Moss
Mm-hmm.
for Sega Dreamcast. I love that game,
That
man.
was the game that you could play actually within the helmet. Like you could see it at like first person as if you were actually playing in the game. That was the first of its kind, and I think a lot of people love that. And you could actually see in like instant replays what it looked like from a first person point of view. That was really cool. I miss the competition that Madden actually had, because kind of like the WWE, when you don't have competition, you can kind of just do what you want to do and not have any repercussions for it.
Yeah, for sure. Uh, but for a while there, I mean, they had some pretty good. I mean, those games held their own. As great as Madden is, but
Yeah, when I was kind of alluding to this yesterday, when we had this the snow days is a little different than it was today, where you almost know it. I mean, people are almost telling you ahead of time, hey, we're gonna have a snow day, we're gonna have a day off, we're gonna have a 2 hour delay, things of that nature. Whereas it used to be like I told Richie, I compared it to the NFL draft, where you're waiting, and like for me, you were always waiting for the E's, so it always came after East Liverpool. So once you see East Liverpool, you're like getting ready, because are you going to have a snow day? Are you going to have a 2 hour delay? You're up at the butt crack of dawn just to try to get in front of it. These kids right now are I want to say spoiled, but they're kind of spoiled because they can just hop on their app and go on channel 21 to the Storm Tracker app and see if they have school or not, and in what capacity. But when I did have a snow day, it was either spending time at a friend's house. It was never doing what I was actually supposed to be doing, which was probably schoolwork. Which is which is why I was never that perfect valedictorian, salutatorian in high school, and it took me a little bit longer to understand that the education side of things matters when I got to college, and then kind of turned my act around. But yeah, snow days were always fun. I mean, I feel like my snow days always ended up being on days that I had tests, so I probably should have studied a little bit more, and I just never did. So
Isn't it funny though? I mean, tell me if you agree, but back in the day, and I totally relate to what you're saying. But I mean, we both grew up in the we're kids in the '90s, so I just remember like you said, that ticker, and if school was closed, it flashing across the screen. But it's funny how like as a kid you like love snow days, but now as an adult man, like there's don't get me wrong, I love the occasional day just sitting around being a bum doing nothing. But most of the time it's like, man, I need something to do. Like I can't just sit here. So I feel like as an adult, I just don't like the snow days as much. It's like, man, I want to go to work. I want to hang out with my friends. I want to have a good time, make some money. So as an adult, it's like I don't like the inclement weather as much.
Because you
But
still got to go to work. You still got, I mean, usually I told everybody, I mean, this is a perfect example. I mean, usually you're in the studios on Wednesdays. I told everybody last night, as soon as I kind of figured stuff out, hey, we're going to have a snow day tomorrow. So let's just make sure everybody stays safe. Don't necessarily come into HQ or do anything like that. I told Anthony, call off the dogs. And, what's beautiful is we can do this remotely. We can still do our jobs remotely and still do what I think is a good job of it. So, yeah, so happy snow day to everybody. Obviously, when you're an adult, typically you don't get a snow day. I know my wife is not happy. Sarah's not happy that she doesn't get one. But I've been down in the man cave working pretty much all morning, so I did do a little Madden to start off the morning just because I could. So probably should have been watching the kids while she was working, but I snuck down in the basement. God bless her. That's why she's the best mom and wife in the world. Scotty, they played a ton of games last night. I don't know if you caught the scores page, www.ysnlive.com/score. And we had one girls basketball game on the network. It was Ashtabula St. John blowing out Lordstown 52-9 on a final for that. Congratulations, to the Lady Heralds on a just, almost untouchable game. Didn't even let Lordstown get to double digits. So credit Ashtabula St. John for that. Then you look over the boys, and it was the tale of kind of two sides because you had some really close games and you had some absolute blowouts last night. Brookfield blows out Liberty 73-46 final. Then you have Champion falling to Crestview 65-38. Garrettsville Garfield comes up short against Camel by the final score of 49-32. Orange on the right side of the scoreboard, 52-45 over Hawken. Hubbard comes up short against Poland, 60-41. Lisbon, yes, that Lisbon, Quinn Pushkar's Lisbon, Chris Huxhold's Lisbon, comes up big in an upset special in the EOAC, 54-49 against Valley Christian, and that was even on the road. So you look at that, take that into consideration. What a game that the Lisbon Blue Devils played to get a big win over the perennial powerhouse in basketball, Valley Christian. Lordstown on the boys' side comes up short against Ashtabula St. John, 66-25. The Heralds just keep on rolling against Lordstown. Then you have Louisville, another big win, 58-29 over Western Reserve. Back to the top we go, where Wellsville gets a game winner against Columbiana, 61-59, and another wild one in the EOAC. McDonald with a big win. Congrats, Jimmy. Congrats. You guys are starting to turn things around, starting to heat up. 54-51 over Waterloo. Niles comes up short against Struthers in a really close one, 68-65. Salem loses to Cardinal Mooney, 61-38. South Range with an upset bid over Girard, 60-59. Aiden Leone with the game winner there. Springfield gets a 72-50 win over Mineral Ridge. Walsh Jesuit in the game that Richie and I had comes up short, 58-55 to Archbishop Hoban. Again, the Knights with a lot of stuff that when Richie joins us here in a few minutes, he can tell you about the historical night that it was out in Akron. Marlington comes up way short against Louisville, 91-51. The Leps just keep on rolling. Urban Scholars way short against Heartland Christian, 58-19. You got Howland, who I don't know if they upset it, but two really good teams going at it, and Howland kind of flexed their muscles, 57-31. Carrollton beats Beaver Local, 68-45. Newton Falls falls to LeBray. Your final score, and I believe this was one at the free throw line, LeBray 41-40 over Newton Falls in an absolute slobber knocker. Jefferson gets a win over Lakeview, 58-53 in the NE8. East Palestine comes up big against Latonia, 28-20 in a low-scoring defensive affair. Then you've got Sebring, a winner 39-26 over Jackson Milton. And finally, last night, you had Southern 68, United 47 in EOAC play. Scotty, when you look at all those, were there any games that you had your eye on just from a pure spectator standpoint last night?
I always kind of pay close attention to my alma mater in Lowville, but I was also I was talking to Anthony about it a little bit on Running Point earlier. I had a feeling that the South Range and Girard game was going to be a really great game. I've been paying attention more closely to South Range, the boys side recently, and they just seem to after their poor start. I think they started 0-5, but since then, whatever they've done, it's working, man, and they continue to come up clutch.
Yeah, they've been coming up real clutch lately. Came up short against Salem in overtime over the weekend, but come back strong with a big win over Girard, which Girard has been the belle of the ball in the NE8 this year, and a big win last night for the Raiders. Aiden Leone, again, with the game winner. Richie Giuliano joins us at this time. Richie, you and I spent some time together yesterday, basically from noon till 10. From your standpoint, we went out to Akron, and you and I were wide-eyed the entire time, and especially we got in that parking lot, and we realized we were in for a treat.
Yeah, it was a different animal up there for sure. I mean, we walk in, you got a freshman game going on in one gymnasium, you got the JV game going on in the other, and we kind of peek our head through the door for the JV game. We're like, these kids play JV. They're like 6'4". They're all about to slam at home. I'm like, this is a different level of basketball. Not only was it packed for the JV game, but we came to find out sooner or later that it was sold out. Like we went out to go get a hot dog and a T-shirt, and we come up to the table and they got a big red sign that says sold out, right at the ticket table. So we knew we were in for a good one. We had people draped all over us, but it was a great atmosphere to be in for sure. The basketball there is just a different level. We saw a 3-star point guard last night. Walsh Jesuit, even though we weren't there covering for them, they really impressed us. They got a couple guys, Tyler Bell, Zach Halligan, I think has a couple offers to go play at smaller D2 schools. And, I think he dropped 17 last night as well. So all over the place, guys that could score the basketball, just a completely different level than what we're kind of used to. The game seemed a lot faster up there than it is down here.
Speak to the atmosphere. I mean, you and I almost had to pinch ourselves numerous times throughout the night because I took a panoramic picture of – I can't even put it into words. There was not a seat to be had. I mean, when they say sold out, it's not because they just want – I mean, because the fire marshal said no. I mean, it was a standing room only. Like you said, we had people behind us basically on top of us. You and I made some jokes on the way home about the one guy, but you had an entire student section that stood up, and the only way they could have got tickets or entry is because they were standing up in that student section because there were no seats to be had in it. Something we don't see around here a whole lot. People are always concerned about the support of basketball and some of the different sports, but basketball to me is one of the main ones that we've seen the decline along the years. And for the first time in 20 years, to me, there was standing room only, and we had the opportunity to watch on our first try at Hovind. What was it like for you?
It was awesome. And, don't get us wrong, the gymnasium isn't very big. Like, it's not a huge gymnasium when you talk about the bleachers, but they also extend up in the upper deck. They have a full level of bleachers up there. And then the Hovind students who have their own section behind the left side basket, which extends another 15 rows. Yeah, on the stage. So when you take that into consideration, I mean, it's not a big gym, but it's also not small when you add above each hoop with the student sections that they have there. So it was cool to see the 15 rows of white and black. That was the themes for both of the Hovind and Walsh Jesuit students. And, they were going back and forth pregame. They came out, we kind of felt it that it was going to be a different level with the music blaring, both student sections booing one another. Walsh Jesuit, I got to say this, one of the toughest warm-ups I've ever seen. Like, they came out and they had like maroon and gold all the way up and down with long pants, almost looked like the Cavs with a big W across their chest. Hoban came out and they were fired up. So it was really cool. Like, what a change in atmosphere from the end of the JV game till 10 minutes left to go before the start of the varsity game. It was like almost like you flip a switch and it was like, oh, okay, like it's time to go. Like, this is big boy basketball up here.
It felt like a main event atmosphere. Yeah. That was the difference. And that's kind of what you and I were talking about. Like, as soon as that JV game ended, and the JVs were pretty impressive. I would be willing to bet that JV squad would contest many of our varsity teams that we're used to watching.
There's
a young man named Ace Brown.
Ace Brown, yeah.
He was untouchable. He was absolutely untouchable. And you and I kind of, why isn't this kid on varsity? And then you saw he could be a varsity anywhere. Really, he really could. And then you saw the Sam Greer, who was the big man, only a freshman. Trust me when I tell you this, folks, you're going to be hearing us talking about Sam Greer for a very, very long time. Like, he is just a mountain of a man, and he's only going to get bigger and stronger and faster. And I can't wait to cover him the rest of the way. So if you have a chance to check out Hoban, whether it's on YSN or, hey, go get a ticket to the ball game. I mean, it's an atmosphere that you're not going to regret. And we're going to have them covered from pillar to post. I know Anthony's doing a game tomorrow, I believe. Yeah. The girls game, and then we'll be back at it with a slew of our announcers, and we're trying to get some announcers from Hoban to join us. So we're excited for that. Just a constant reminder, we want to make sure that everybody knows our services are absolutely free to high schools and districts. So if you have a district or you're part of a high school and you want YSN's coverage, all you got to do is send us a message and we'll get the ball rolling for you. So make sure you meet up with your athletic director or your superintendent and your school board before you do call us, because we don't want to have that awkward conversation of, we were contacted by such and such, and they're like, they have nothing to do with what we do over here. So we'd love to bring and continue the YSN banner flying all over Ohio and into Western Pennsylvania. So if you have a school that you feel needs covered better, you know who to call, the Ghostbusters, right here on YSN. Richie, with Scotty here, we talked a little bit about snow days, man, and Scotty was a video gamer as well. Did you do anything other than sit at the keyboard like I did and start typing from that standpoint, or did you give yourself a little bit of a snow day because of our long day yesterday?
Well, I've been tearing down wallpaper with my mom this morning, which is actually going to be my spark for today. So, that's the job we got to take care of. There's a certain bathroom that she wants redone and painted, so I thought I could help. And it's a pain in the butt, I'm not going to lie, to tear down wallpaper. But, yeah, I've been doing that. I got the story up. So, check out our Hoban story, first one on YSN, a game story. We already had a coach's corner story with Anthony, but our first game one, the leading scorer, Mr. Vowles, talked to us after dropping in 5 3-pointers. Had to adjust the audio level a little bit because it was so loud in there, and I wasn't close enough, so I was cranking up the volume on the audio gain and
don't say
up there. So everything sounds good.
And Vowles is up for Big Dog of the Valley as well.
He is
for Archbishop Hoban nominee. So I mean, I wonder who nominated him. I can only imagine the two guys that were watching last night, and he had 5 threes, something like that.
5 threes in the first half, yeah.
I mean, that's automatic, right? If you had 5 threes, you might as well just punch your ticket to the big dog.
He was unbelievable. And they were trying to put a hand in his face, and he was still knocking them down. But, Walsh did a good job in the second half of, kind of adapting to what Hoban was doing, shooting a lot of threes in the first half. They made him get to the bucket, which, they were still able to do offensively. And, Hoban is very hard to stop because they have Jonas Nichols, who could fly by you. They got Will Scott, who handles the ball really well. You talked about Greer underneath with his size, and then Vowles, who's kind of the 3-point specialist, and Griffith could shoot it from the corner as well. So 4 or 5 guys to look at if you're Hoban offensively, which makes it very challenging for defense.
I regretted to mention and Tim Porter makes it abundantly clear. It's never an awkward conversation. LOL. Tim Porter, the athletic director at Orange, who has been unbelievable for us. I don't know if either one of you guys caught the Orange wrestling match the other day. They turned out all the lights and put the spotlight on right in the middle of the mat. It was awesome. And Tim was one of the announcers. That he had his former wrestling coach, who was an announcer, and you can take the person out of being a coach, out of the position of being coach, but you can never take the coach from out of the person. So he's sitting there and he's yelling down, anchor down, you got this. Like coaching while he was announcing, and he kept apologizing, which I thought was absolutely hilarious. But it's awesome because it's like I told Tim, that validates the people that we put behind the microphone. And for us, I think it was a great opportunity, and Orange always does such a great job. They haven't even been with us for a year, and I would argue that they have some of the most dedicated people in positions with YSN, because if you've never listened to an Orange game, I mean, they're getting so much coverage because it's like a student-run broadcast, like so many of them are, but they've never received instruction. They've never done this before. They're just like, we're going to go. We're just going to bleed the orange and white, orange and black, whatever it is up there. I think it's orange and white, but it's like they're doing such a good job. And Tim has been such a great ambassador for not only Orange as their athletic director, but the opportunity that YSN presents to Orange and their students. Cannot thank him enough. And watching our shows on top of it, man, like this is ludicrous. So we just continue to go out and stretch. And I can't wait till we're talking about Orange athletes and Hoban athletes and athletes from all over. You know, we saw Sammy dropping in an Edgewood reference. Zach Venzel scores 45 points last night. If that's not a big dog nominee for next week, I don't know what is. That's incredible. Incredible. Scotty, I promise we're not locked. Wake up, Scott.
Always give me at least once.
We're going to come back to you when we come back from our break. We got to take a little bit of a pause, pay some bills. When we come back, Scotty, we're going to open it up. We'll talk about whatever the hell you want us to talk about, okay? So just hang on there. Don't hold your breath. We'll be back in about 2 minutes here on the YSN Power Hour, powered by Toyota of Warren.
We believe expectations are made to be exceeded. At the new Toyota of Warren, it's about more than just getting a great deal. It's about service you can count on and a friendship you can trust. Year after year, we've done what we do best. We've gone the extra mile so you could too. Because we know it's just not about buying a new car. It's the start of a new adventure. Toyota of Warren, driven by you.
At Greenwood Chevrolet, we offer a worry-free experience for all our customers. From sales to financing and even service, we'll help build your perfect vehicle.
And lock in your trade value
while your vehicle is being built.
No worries.
We guarantee financing,
regardless of your situation or credit history.
No worries. And when your vehicle needs service,
our award-winning team will get you back on the road.
No worries.
That's what going the extra mile means. Only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Change. This one word can make you break out in a cold sweat. But with change comes wisdom, experience, and understanding. At Myers Family Insurance, we can help make changes in Medicare, insurance, and retirement a positive experience for you and your family. We've gone through changes, like our new office and new faces to help our family of clients too.
For all your Medicare needs, call Myers Family Insurance. Check us out online at MyersFamilyINS.com or find us on Facebook.
You're not waiting to see what the world has in store for you. It's more about what you have in store for the world. All you need is the opportunity. All you need are the resources of a large university and the advantages of a personalized academic setting where you can experience new worlds in the arts and sciences, business, and education and make them your own. We are where you shape your future. We are Youngstown State University and proud.
Hi, I'm Colin Chupa.
And I'm Kelsey Clem from K-Squared Marketing.
Our boutique marketing firm specializes in media planning and buying, public relations, event marketing strategies, and strategic sponsorships. We can integrate our services with your existing game plan, or we can be your entire marketing team. Your goals, our game plan. Let's win together. Call K-Squared Marketing at 330-623-2730 or visit ksquared.marketing to learn more.
And welcome back to the Ysn Power Hour, powered by Toyota of Warren. DJ, Richie, and Scotty, all with you on this Wednesday. This, I guess you can call it a whiteout Wednesday because it has been absolutely snowy and now it's rainy. Scotty, I promised you I'd let you pick the topic. Wake up, man.
I'm getting there. I need more soda. That's what I need.
Soda? I don't even know what that is. I know what pop is. I don't know what soda is.
I just said that because I knew you would be like, wait, it's pop. Because that's when everybody, they'll say like soda. And I'll be like, wait, what? But soda. Now every once in a while, because they say it, I'll say soda. But
so you're turning heel on us? Is that what you're saying? You're going to be back?
Yeah, I just was being a jerk there. But.
Way to go! All right, what are we talking about other than soda versus pop?
I wanted to get your thoughts. We got the conference championship games this weekend, and right on cue, there's Mr. Radar. Although I never. By the time I'm done reading everything he types, it's like I'm exhausted. But I just wanted to know, as far as the AFC side goes, if the Bengals do beat Kansas City this weekend, again, Joe Burrow in his career would be 4-0 against Patrick Mahomes. And I want to know, in your guys' opinion, Richie and DJ, do you think if the Bengals win this Sunday that they are now the favorite moving forward in the AFC for the next several years? And do you think also if the Bengals win, I know Mahomes has a Super Bowl, but do you think Burrow has surpassed Mahomes as the best quarterback in the league? What do you guys think?
Richie, go ahead.
I think Cincinnati has a great running game as well. I think that sets up the passing game for Joe Burrow. I'm not taking anything away from him. He was fantastic on the snow out between the Bills, but when the way that Joe Mixon was able to run the football, was unbelievable. I think he almost had 100 yards on the ground. So that definitely sets up Joe Burrow in his passing game. He's got some incredible wide receivers. Jamar Chase, who always has a good game for the Bengals, but I don't know if I'd put him ahead of Patrick Mahomes. I think that Cincinnati as a team has a chance to beat the Chiefs. I think they're a better team, but I don't think that Joe Burrow is a better quarterback per se. And I'll hand that over to DJ.
Yeah, I think I'm right on pace with you there, Rich, because I think Cincinnati had the better defense. Most certainly. I don't know what happened to the Bills. They're playing at home. The cold is supposed to be the name of their game. I don't want to discredit Cincinnati, but I also don't want to sit here and pretend that the Bills had their best game. They were depleted in the secondary. So I don't know. When I look at this, is Cincinnati, and here's Sigler's perfect comment right on time. Cincinnati O-line's mauling people. And when you've got an offensive line that's doing what they're doing, look out, because it's going to balance your attack. You're able to run the ball with Joe Mixon, even though Joe Mixon to me is better out of the backfield as a drop-off pass guy, like an extended handoff guy. If you're able to do that, Joe Burrow is going to be able to do whatever the heck he wants, whenever the heck he wants. And then you have to turn it into a shootout. Now, I think I'm taking Cincinnati, or I'm taking Kansas City. I think I had them at -2.5 the last time, and I think since then Cincinnati's actually become the favorite. in the game. So I think Kansas City wins this game. I think a lot of it depends on how healthy Patrick Mahomes is, because when you look at what he did to his ankle, how he was able to get through that game, I will never know. But I think everybody can see that there was something wrong with him. But this will be, what, 2 out of 3 seasons, I think, that he's had something wrong with him in the postseason. You know, that the season against Cleveland, he got knocked out, and had to come back. And did they go to the Super Bowl that year, or was that the year that was that last year?
They went.
They went that year.
Okay, so yeah, you look at that. I mean, Patrick Mahomes isn't afraid to play injured, but a head injury and an ankle injury are two different things. Two different things to me. So I'm taking the Chiefs, just because until you tell me otherwise, I still think they're the real deal.
Interesting. I disagree with you guys. I think Cincinnati's gonna beat them. I think even if Mahomes was 100%, the Chiefs were gonna have a tough time. Not saying it's gonna be a blowout. I don't think it's gonna be like the Bills game where Cincinnati, they were in control from start to finish. I do think they'll face some adversity in this game. I think it will come down to the fourth quarter, but I think Cincinnati comes out on top. Of course, Radar agrees because he's just a copycat. But yeah, so I do think it's gonna be an outstanding game. The one thing you said, and I'm not disagreeing. I think Cincinnati's O-line has played great, but I think Joe Burrow, he's also just so good. There was a lot of talk with them down 2 linemen this week, and can the Bills get pressure? Is that going to be too much for Cincinnati to overcome? But he just makes his decisions so quickly too. He gets rid of the ball so quickly and usually makes a good decision. And another thing, people talk about KC's weapons, but Cincinnati, you mentioned Jamar Chase a moment ago, but even T. Higgins, on most teams, I think he would be like a number 1 receiver.
On what team?
Cincinnati's got plenty of weapons.
Name 5 teams that T. Higgins would be the number 1 receiver on.
The Ravens. I think he'd also be the number 1 receiver on the Browns. I think he'd be the
wait, over Amari Cooper?
I think so. I think he's more talented than Cooper. I think he'd be the number 1 receiver on the New York Giants as well. I think he'd be the number 1 receiver on the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Whoa, 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 whoa. No, not a chance. The Jaguars?
Yes.
Christian Kirk? He's better than Christian Kirk?
I think he's right there with him. I think he'd be able to.
You honestly think he's better than Amari Cooper?
I do, and I'm not taking anything away from Amari Cooper, but I don't think Amari Cooper is a top 15 receiver in the entire league. I think T. Higgins is.
Scotty thinks you're spitting, or Sammy thinks you're spitting facts, Scotty.
I'm just saying. But you didn't let me.
He's not even the number 1 receiver on his team.
That's because Jamar Chase is probably the best receiver in the league. That's the only reason.
All right. We're better than Justin Jefferson?
I think he is.
I
I'd take him over Jefferson.
I don't even think he's the best receiver in the division, Scotty.
Who don't say, I love the guy, but are you going to say Pickens?
Pickens is better than him, hands down, 100%. I think Amari Cooper is
better than Jamar Chase.
He will be. I promise you that. No, T. Higgins.
Oh, T. Higgins. You're saying Pickens. See, I think Higgins.
Jamar Chase is not the best receiver in the league. There's no chance. That is 100% zero feasibility.
How is there no chance?
Justin Jefferson is up for the MVP. Is Jamar Chase up for the MVP?
No, but again,
like better than Cooper Kupp.
Tyreek Hill.
Again,
Cooper Kupp.
Justin Jefferson is
AJ Brown.
He's clearly the number one option in Minnesota. Who else does Minnesota have?
Adam Thielen.
He's gonna put up bigger numbers.
Getting old. I think you got Tyreek Hill. I would even put AJ Brown ahead. Potentially Cooper Kupp. I don't think Amari Cooper. I don't. I do agree with him there. I think he's better than Amari Cooper, but
two of the guys you just named aren't even in the playoffs right now. So how good are they?
Yeah, but that doesn't really mean
they can't throw the ball to themselves, Scotty.
Yeah, but if you're that good, I mean, where's Jamar Chase? He's in the AFC title game for the second.
If that's the case, then I never want to hear Myles Garrett's name ever again for best defensive player in football.
I've never said that. You know I've never said that.
You were on the Myles Garrett train whenever they went to the playoffs.
I never thought he was better than T.J. Watt. I don't think he's a bum like you do, but I don't think he's the best defensive player in the league.
I'm not going to debate that. Sammy says, "Give me Chase over anyone other than Jefferson."
He makes. Put it this way: when Jamar Chase was out. That Monday night game, the Browns beat the Bengals by what? It seemed like it was 25. They were in complete control the whole game. Second game, they get Chase back, and he totally changed he wrecked that game and was the difference. Denzel Ward couldn't cover him.
How many touchdowns did he have that game?
He definitely had one. I think he probably had, I want to say at least two tutties.
What's up, Diggs? Chris Colucci chiming in as well, by the way. He says prime Cam Newton versus prime, or is greater than prime Josh Allen.
I don't know about that.
That is a tough call. I'm not going to lie to you.
It is. I just think Josh. I know he didn't have his best game this past weekend, but I think he's a better thrower and runner of the football than Cam Newton was.
Is Josh Allen the AFC version of Dak Prescott?
Well, it's funny. It's funny you bring that up. Well, part of that is, other than Stephon Diggs, like the
Stephon Diggs is better than Jamar Chase.
Yeah, I would say that.
I don't think so.
I do.
He's sitting home right now.
What does that matter, Scotty? It doesn't matter.
You could bet 400 in
What
the
do you mean it doesn't matter? They were favored to win.
Is that Stephon Diggs' fault?
Well, he make more plays. You're the number one receiver, better than Jamar Chase, best receiver in the league, right?
I didn't say that. I said he was better than Jamar Chase. I didn't say he's the best receiver in the league. Justin Jefferson is the best receiver in the league.
Okay, name 5 receivers that are clearly better than Jamar Chase?
Stephon Diggs, Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp. I'm still on the Amari Cooper bandwagon.
I said AJ Brown.
If AJ Brown's there, Devontae Smith is arguably there. He's not a bad receiver.
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill.
Again, where's Tyreek Hill?
What the Scotty?
The Super Bowl.
If that's the case, then there will never be an MVP that doesn't win the Super Bowl. Think about Aaron Rodgers.
What happened to the Heisman this year in college football? Not even in the playoffs.
Yeah, they all. But
wait. Jamar Chase didn't win the Super Bowl last year.
You're proving my point. Yeah, it wasn't his fault. He was a stud in that game.
If he was that good, he would have won the Super Bowl.
The best players don't have to be in the playoffs.
It was because the Bengals' O-line was horrible and they couldn't stop Aaron Donald.
Look at this one. I'm all in on this one.
Happy birthday. Happy belated birthday. That was yesterday.
Deebo Samuel's better. And I cannot wait.
He's a better gadget player, I'll give you that.
What?
He's better running taking hand out of the backfield.
Is Jamar Chase giving you money? What's this? What is this obsession with Jamar Chase all of a sudden?
I just think he's the best receiver in the league. I do.
Have you been drinking?
Not yet. I'll be
drinking at 1,710 yards. Let's see what Jamar Chase had.
Yeah, let's pull up the top receivers actually in the NFL.
Jamar Chase has 1,046.
So he's not even the top receiver in getting yards.
In fairness, he missed a month this year.
Well, he's not the best receiver because he missed a month. What kind of receiver misses a month of football?
It's not his fault.
Here we go. It's not his fault that he got hurt. Oh, no. It's just everybody else's fault that their teammates stink.
I'm not saying they stink. I'm just saying what player before,
I would argue that Travis Kelce is a better receiver than Jamar Chase.
Before the Bengals drafted Jamar Chase, they were dog shit. Burrow still couldn't even beat the Browns. And then as soon as they get Jamar Chase, they make a Super Bowl. What player has had?
Yeah, they've had some pretty good guys come to. They've had some pretty good guys come to Cincinnati, Scotty. It's not just Jamar Chase. They've built a team there.
Yeah, and he's clearly their best. They didn't get over the top until he got there.
They also didn't get over the top until Mike Hilton got there. So is Mike Hilton the best cornerback in the league?
He's really good.
Oh,
he's about to pull the trigger. He was about to pull the trigger. It's almost undebatable at this point.
It's not though. It's not. He's among the best wide receivers in the league, but he's not the top.
You were just talking about him though, like he's middle of the pack. You weren't even saying a minute ago he was one of the best. Do you think there's 10 as many as 10
Do you
receivers?
Think that, Scotty, do you think being one of the 10 is not one of the best? That's one of the best in the world. But you're not the best. You're sitting there crowning him like he is.
No, but I think he's elite. See, there's a difference between good and elite. You think he's in the top 10. I think he's clearly top 5 without question.
You also thought Baker Mayfield was a top 5 quarterback. Let's not forget.
Well, top 10. In fairness, top 10. Nobody's perfect.
No, that credibility is taking a hit right now. Just make sure you know.
What's going to happen if the Bengals are hoisting the Lombardi Trophy and Jamar Chase is the Super Bowl MVP? I want some Skittles.
That has nothing to do with it. What
do you mean that has nothing to do
is
with
he an
it?
MVP? Is he an MVP right now?
Odell was having a great Super Bowl game before he got hurt last year for the Rams. If he wouldn't have got hurt and he won the Super Bowl MVP over Aaron Donald, you would say, "Oh, that has nothing to do with how good Odell is."
Is Odell Beckham one of the top 10 last year? Top 10 receivers last year?
Who?
Odell Beckham. Is he elite? The guy he's not even in the league right now? Is that what we're arguing?
I think he was to go with your Najee Harris argument. I think Odell was top 15.
Top 15 receiver?
Yeah.
In the league.
Yep. When he was healthy.
Oh gosh, here we go. On Thursdays between the hours of 7 and 9:30, Odell Beckham Jr. was one of the top 15 players in the league. Like, if we're going to put stipulations on everything, like, just feed it to me straight there, fella. Is he a top receiver in the league or not? Keep in mind, I'm going to preface this for you. He wasn't in the league this year. So if he was a top receiver last year and he's not in the league this year,
but he had another devastating injury. I don't think
to his ego.
I don't think he's a top 15 receiver in the league now, but I do think he was last year.
Scotty's Super Bowl predictions are always
year
off.
to year.
Yeah, because he picks the Browns every year.
Somebody's got to take the Browns to the Super Bowl.
Well, it sure wasn't OBJ, the best receiver in the league.
I just don't like. You couldn't even name 5 receivers better than Chase. You said, "Oh, maybe Amari Cooper."
No way. Tyreek Hill, Justin Jefferson, AJ Brown,
Devontae Smith.
Those are my 3.
Here, let me use Google. Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, AJ Brown, Devontae Adams, Cooper Kupp. Who else do we have here? I'm using the Google machine here. I'm just telling you who I would take. Cooper Kupp. How is Cooper Kupp not better than Jamar Chase? Give me an honest to God evaluation, Scotty.
I just think it's
Broke
not
all kinds of
always
records last year, by the way.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp, he of course he's had a sensational career. He's a fabulous receiver, but I'm just talking about pure skill set. I think Jamar Chase is more skilled than Cooper Kupp is.
Is Justin Jefferson better than Chase?
No. I already told you this.
It's ridiculous. Oh my gosh.
Get to the spark.
Yeah. Scotty, I'm going to kill you. This is going down.
No, I'm not. I take that back.
Take that back. Just kidding. Is Hill really better, or is he just ridiculously fast? I think Hill's better. I think if Kansas City has Hill right now, they're 8-point favorites over Cincinnati. All right, we're going to our spark since Scotty's making no sense because he's been drinking all day. Here we go. So Joe Dickey Electric, what's your spark? Presented by Joe Dickey Electric in North Lima, Ohio. World headquarters in North Lima. Anything electrical, anything, I forget it. Anything, I forget it. I'm drawing a blank. Anything commercial, anything residential, anything electrical. Go to DickeyElectric.com. Tell them why I sent you. I don't know if it's just being out of the studio. I just absolutely blanked on that. I apologize.
Probably so befuddled after this argument.
I'm so angry right now. Like, my blood pressure is at 1 billion. I'm going to drive. I'm gonna bobsled to Scotty's house, and I'm gonna beat him on Papa Shot, and then I'm gonna throw a basketball off of his face for even saying that Justin Jefferson's not the best football player and receiver in the league right now. That's my spark right there. I need an icy light. That's what I need. Julie, Richie, you go ahead. I'm so fired. I can't even speak.
My spark is how incredibly difficult it is to take wallpaper off. We have been dousing our wall with gallons of water for the last hour and a half, and I wish I could go there and show you. I have a third of this wall complete, and I got to do another 2/3 when we're done.
Attaboy.
That's my spark.
Bring home the bacon. All right.
My spark is just you not
don't copy my spark,
up.
Radar. Don't copy my spark, Radar.
You asleep at the wheel and not realizing that Jamar Chase is.
I'm asleep. You fall asleep during our show, Scotty.
What's that?
You fall asleep during our show. Y'all not asleep at the wheel. If anybody's asleep, it's you.
No. My eyes are open. I'm more awake than I've ever been.
Keep talking about Cincinnati Bengals while you got that dumb elf in the background.
Again, the Bengals couldn't even make the playoffs. Then they draft a once in every 20 years a receiver comes around like Chase, and boom, they're in the Super Bowl.
Okay, so by that,
I don't think my take is absurd. I'm sorry.
By your logic, Patrick Mahomes is a worse quarterback than the backup that beat the Browns. That's your logic. Who was like? I don't even remember the dude's name. He played for Michigan. What's his name?
Chad Henne.
Yeah, Chad Henne. Is Chad Henne better than Patrick Mahomes? Tell me.
What do Chad Henne and Patrick Mahomes have to do with?
Because according to you, Joe Burrow sucks because until Jamar Chase gets there, it makes everything better. So you're telling me that Patrick Mahomes, that's the same logic, Scotty. Patrick Mahomes is a worse quarterback than Chad Henne because Chad Henne actually got the job done.
Well, Mahomes was hurt in that game, or he would have got the job done.
Okay. All right. That's going to do it for our show. This has been the Ysn Power Hour, powered by Toyota of Warren. This might be Scotty's last show. It's asinine.
I don't. If you want to make the case, I'll listen all day. You could make a case Justin Jefferson is better, but it's just my opinion that Jamar Chase is. I think if you swap them out, if you put Justin Jefferson in Cincinnati and Jamar Chase in Minnesota, I don't think the Bengals are in the AFC title game.